This is Valorant. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a free-to-play 5v5 tactical shooter where it's essentially Counter-Strike in its main mode, but with hero abilities thrown into the mix, so there's an extra little bit of a layering to it, and it definitely is influenced and or heavily part of, I guess you'd say, the League of Legends growing universe, as to say, but it very much is its own sort of thing and has its own vibe and style to it, and yeah, it's kind of an interesting offering in terms of gameplay style and combat here, which is rather interesting. So Series S actually has a pretty stellar, I guess you would say, offering in terms of performance level and whatnot. We're getting 1440p to 120 FPS. You could see the client FPS in the top left corner of the screen there. You can also adjust that if you want to go a little bit further. You can have like an actual like graph included too if you'd like. You can change the crosshair settings. Lots of really in-depth crosshair selections from like your sniper to your aiming down your sights, your focus, your base options. You can adjust controls and general settings too. There's a lot of different adjustments and changes you can make to the way the game looks, plays, and is visually presented to you, which I think is great. Honestly, it's nice that that's all available here. Spatial sound support, Dolby Atmos support, and DTS:X support as well. So you are able to get like kind of the full suite of visual settings, I guess you would say, in regards to making this game kind of look and feel how you want it to. And this is one of those really nice, refined multiplayer experiences that I think is punching a bit above its weight class for the Series S. This is actually quite a nice offering gameplay-wise for the platform, and one of those well-optimized kind of experiences for Series S, which is always appreciated, I would say. I'm kind of surprised that we sort of all died and dropped the bomb that fast. So the general goal of the game, if you're not familiar with this, is, again, it's like Counter-Strike, but with the hero layer kind of added on to it. So the primary mode, because there's deathmatch and there's like ranked stuff, but the primary mode is going in. One team attempts to plant a spike, the other team attempts to stop the other team from doing that. Use a variety of different guns that you buy between rounds, and you can swap rounds after like a lot of rounds. And then you have different abilities you could buy or armor, and it all factors into everything and how you play the game. So a big part of this is really learning the characters and the abilities. So I kind of like recommend sort of finding a character you like kind of quickly and early on, and then just kind of getting used to them, because it can be a little daunting, as to say, to kind of, I guess you would say, get used to the characters, because that's a big part of this, is like understanding what their abilities are and making it like a second nature thing where you use said character, you understand said character, and you're able to like really get in there and make a difference with the character, understand all the abilities. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be like swapping around, trying to like understand what each of the characters do, and yeah, that in itself can be a little frustrating. Just like the game, in terms of like the intensity and like the movement. For this one, I do have a bit of issues with like the pacing. It feels a little slow to me. Like, I know you pull out your knife, you run faster. But yeah, it still feels kind of slow, and it feels kind of long because the rounds, they just sort of go on and on and on and on, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of rounds, 13 rounds to attack or defend. It just like it feels like the matches go on so long to the point that I kind of stop caring about how the matches kind of end up, if that makes sense, because I'm just kind of like, oh wow, this is still going. And I get the ideas to give you different strategies and the opportunity to try different strategies and everything like that. And I'm sure the more hyper-competitive players can really get into it, but these matches are like well over half an hour each, it feels like, or even longer. And that element of it kind of makes it stretch out a little bit. So, yeah, it's really going to depend on if this is, you know, your type of setup, if this is a game that really vibes for you, and you know what kind of abilities you get, and there's a lot to this. And I feel like there's a lot of like kind of luck and almost to me to some degree like auto aim kind of things with the controller in terms of like you get like a lucky one bullet headshot or the other time you're kind of sitting there just kind of like dealing with like stopping power is the word I keep thinking of because there's a lot of stopping power in this game where you get like shot with a bullet and your character literally cannot move or like sort of react to stuff and yeah, that in itself could be kind of annoying. But, oh, that's a pretty cool ability there, right? Come back from the dead, winning the round. Kind of neat. So, yeah, I find this interesting. I kind of like this game. I just, like, I do find that it just, some of the, like, every match feels like it just keeps going and going and going for me. And some people will really like that loop, but for me it's kind of like, okay, well, we fought these guys, we know everything that they like to do, all their styles and everything like that. It's just kind of like going on and on. So I don't necessarily feel that competitive crazy edge like others do, but I do think this is a nicely set up game. It's well matured because it's been out for a while and it's just kind of getting ported to consoles to kind of fend off competition. And yeah, there's not a knock against this. Like it does have a good amount of content. There's a good selection of levels. They challenge you in different ways. They're linear, so you're all kind of like, you know, you're moving through them in specific lanes and specific patterns, and you have to, like, you know, understand the layouts. Because that's, again, a big part of this game is, like, the extra busy work involved in kind of learning it, because it's a hero shooter. So something like Counter-Strike, you just jump in, you start shooting. Sure, you gotta learn, like, the fine kind of, like, tuning elements of, like, you know, how this gun works, how armor kind of works and factors in, and right placements and planning and movement strategies. For this game, you gotta learn all that, and you gotta learn your magic abilities, what the little bubbles do, what your, like, shooting stuff does, it's, like, your ultimates, and then there's all these different characters, and they all have different abilities. And you gotta learn what other ultimates are from other people, because that can factor in negatively if you don't know what someone else's ability is, and you're just kind of caught flat-footed. And yeah, there is a lot to this game, and there's a lot to learn and catch up on. Just because, again, it's been out for so long, right? Like, you know, people are familiar with it, they know of it. But at least here on the Series S, like I mentioned, you get a really visually good-looking game. Like, I think this looks quite nice, you know, gameplay-wise for the Series S. You get a high frame rate, which is awesome and fluid. And, again, I should mention, technically, this is, like, the beta, quote-unquote, but, like, it's got full achievements, it's got the cross-play with console platforms, it's got the cross-progression for your account. So, like, it's the full game, right? Like this is how the game is gonna be, and they're gonna tweak one or two things. But for me, this is good enough as a point to like review it and give my thoughts on it. And yeah, that's kind of just how I feel about it in general. It's like I do like this, but I do kind of ponder like, you know, just some of the auto aim stuff, some of the movement stuff. I just wish it were either a little shorter matches or faster rounds, because it's just, maybe not faster rounds, but like faster movement in the rounds. Because it does feel like it kind of just, kind of drags at times. And who knows, maybe some people really like that style, I don't know. But, yeah, it's really going to come down to your interest in this particular, like, you know, movement and aesthetic and everything like that. Because I do like how this game looks. It's colorful, it's vibrant. It's got, like, a bit of a clay aesthetic to it, honestly. Which is interesting. But, like, I do, you know, it plays well, it handles well, it's nice on the controller. Just my only real issues with this come down to, like, the speed of which I do things, and a little bit of like the auto aim luckiness. I feel like there's a lot of luck to this game. I know that sounds really, really odd, but it genuinely feels like a lot of this is kind of like luck of the shot. And if the bullets like favor you. I think we got this.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I think we got this. I'm gonna try to get out of the blast radius. Nice. But I mean, it's not too hard to pick up. But I do think it's kind of a little hard to sort of master the dynamics of, like, the ability system. Because, like, guns, you know, obviously snipers and LMGs, like, you see it's, like, pretty easy to get and understand, like, the guns. But like your little abilities things, those take time to get to the point where it's like, sure, I can sit there, I can look at the buy menu and be like, okay, this does that. But to fully understand how it impacts the gameplay, how others' abilities, theirs, impact the gameplay and your movement, what you can do, that all really dramatically changes things. Like I was streaming this, and I'm sitting there and there's like abilities flopping out, ultimates for some characters, and I'm just like, I have no idea what this does. Is it lethal? Is it like defensive? And that in itself makes the game take a lot longer to, like, from an accessibility standpoint, I guess, really get into it and be able to do, you know, to be truly effective. You've got to be kidding me. That was close. Is there another guy in there? Where did that come from? From behind? Was there a teammate behind me? Was he sniping and he just let me die? I hate when that happens. He's still alive? No, I think he died. Was this the guy that was behind me? Just kind of let me die there? But anyways, we won. Doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, but it is neat. You know, is it going to be for everyone? I don't know. If you've played this before on PC and stuff, we're actually getting, like, I'd say a pretty competent, well put together version of the game. Particularly on the Series S. Like, for me, the Series S, it's always a bit of like a gamble on like what exactly you're gonna get in terms of like performance and visuals and stuff like that. But I'm definitely very happy with what they were able to achieve here for the Series S version. So definitely a good bravo for the team on that one, because this is a very, very fine, nice way to play this game. Because you'd hate from a competitive standpoint to be kind of like, you know, out of the loop or not having like the performance levels that like others are able to have. It's kind of amazing that in the modern era we do, that sucks. We do get the treat of actually getting like high frame rate competitive shooter games. It's kind of awesome. Because I remember like the original Xbox as like some stuff had online, not a lot of stuff. And then 360 was like, we had the shooters, but they weren't all like high frame rates. And then, you know, the last gen was kind of like, better frame rates and all the stuff. And then this gen, we're getting all the stuff and good frame rates, which is awesome. Because you need that for, like, a competitive shooter game. You do actually, like, you know, you need that competitive edge, and I think it makes a big difference for gameplay. Maybe not as much in this one, because you're not moving as, like, quick. But it does make quite a difference in terms of how you play. My ultimate's finally charged up. So yeah, it's just, again, like these matches, they seem to just kind of roll on. It's like, we're doing well, and I'm kind of into it, but like, it does feel a little bit, lengthy. That's not even where I put that in the slightest. Why would that bubble go there? Did I accidentally move it a little bit too much? That's so strange. Ah. I'm not done yet. Although I have to kill this guy really quickly, otherwise I'm like dead. Okay, no, he got 2 kills off of me. That guy is just, again, I swear to the lucky headshots. I mean, I was gonna die anyways, because there was 2 of them there, unless I got like a super lucky spiel on that one, but I was hoping my ultimate would kind of be more in my favorite. It seems like a lot of the abilities in this game are all ball-oriented and or like blocking sight and stuff. It's very, very strange. A lot of ball play in this. A lot of ball play. But yeah, fast rounds, fast competitiveness, a few different ways to play. They've got some training options. It's a pretty straightforward game, right? At least I think so. Especially if you're coming from the origins of something like, you know, Crossfire, Counter-Strike, Warface Breakout when that was the thing. And it just kind of does, you know, it does its own flair with it, right? And it's got its own style, and it just adds that layering of a hero shooter kind of thing, which is, you know, so hot right now, right? It's kind of the in kind of thing, as to say. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. I do, pacing-wise, as I go around that in circles, but I do, pacing-wise, wish it was a little faster to kind of play and go through and stuff, but I don't mind this. It's just whether or not, like, the matches kind of keep my attention span, because it's like, it does take a while to actually kind of get these matches going and play through them. To the point where I just kind of get like a little tired of the rounds, where I'm kind of like, wow, this never seems to end. Which I guess is either a benefit for you or kind of a weird thing. So it depends on how into it you are, right? How did you know I was there? The footsteps, maybe, I guess? Sound is a big thing in this as well, like kind of tilting the controller slightly to move makes you quieter, kind of full gunning it. But like it does feel like when I pull out a knife, I'm like briskly jogging. Whereas like, you know, when I have a regular gun out, it feels like I'm just kind of walking about everywhere. And it's slow. If you get shot with a bullet but it doesn't kill you, you basically just cannot move. So if you're like far back, you're just stuck. Like you're not able to move, you're not able to really impact things. You're just you're really genuinely stuck in place, which I think is a bit of an issue. Like that would be a little adjustment that I'd like to see. But that's the thing, is we're getting like a full game, right? Like this is a full mature PC experience, so they're not really going to change too much aside from kind of balancing out how the controller and everything feels, right? Like this is from something that's had lots of playtime, lots of testing, lots of enjoyment from players. So I'm sure they've got something that's like a winning formula here, and it's just kind of like getting that experience, but on the console side of things. That's the biggest thing here, but yeah, I am very pleased with the Series S version. It looks really good, honestly. Like, I could see a little bit of spots sometimes where it's a little bit more jaggedy, but, like, getting this frame rate level at, you know, a good resolution quality like this where there is levels of clarity is just awesome. So, kind of great that they were able to, I guess, achieve that for the Series S. It's always kind of the worry, right? Is whether or not the Series S is going to be able to deliver it to you. That's a teammate. I think we got this. Oh, come on. What are the odds that there's someone down the one hallway I go to try to escape so I don't get blown up by the bomb? Unbelievable. Just my luck, am I right? It's just my luck, because I was like, oh, they're probably not going to come down this hallway, and I could get that. I can escape the bomb, not die from it, but sucks to suck. But no, I do have some pretty good matches of this. It does usually run out pretty fine for me. I get the elements of it and the ideas of it and how you fight and shoot. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's going to be something that's like forever long-term for me. I don't know, but I can see some people kind of really getting into this kind of gameplay style and just kind of writing it out as to say, you know what I mean? Kind of being like, oh, this is cool and stuff and neat. And yeah, it really depends on if this tactical kind of play vibes with you. It's basically sort of like if you're into Counter-Strike and want something similar or sort of with a twist or an adjustment. That's, to me, a lot of what this game kind of is trying to provide. And I think that's a totally fair comparison, because, I mean, let's be real here. Like, the design of it, the style of it. They basically saw Counter-Strike, how popular it was, and they're like, we can throw our League of Legends, you know, kind of flair over it. That's basically what they're doing, is they're just building out that sort of universe of their games into different genres and different settings and everything like that to try to capture new audiences. Basically building off of the brand name and that. And I mean, it makes sense. It really does for gaming, you know. Test out different stuff, see what kind of sticks, and you know, you kind of lean on existing kind of brand acknowledgement and, you know, add that little flair that people like. Weird, unique characters, quirks, and styles, and yeah. I totally get what they're going for with this one. It's really quite interesting to me. Yeah. Now, it's fun. It's fluid. Looks good. Runs well. It's kind of worth giving a whirl. You know, free to play. 5v5 tactical shooter. You know, it's definitely like familiar but different. Something fresh, but you know, something old as well. And yeah, Valorant's got some cool vibes. V gonna give it to you? But no, seriously, the Series S version of this game, like I said, is I'm very, very happy with it. This is one of the better performing, good looking kind of things for the platform. I love what they did with this title.